Hi there, my name is Dr. Christopher Russell. I am an elementary music educator with 25 years of experience, also at the middle and high school levels. And I am also a clinician for Peripole. And I wanted to talk to you today about this instrument. It is the Peripole Classic Ukulele. This is the tenor version, and it is by Enya, made by Enya for Peripole. It's also known as the EUT-200A model, and it's available only through Peripole.com. Now, this video is especially for music educators that are interested in this instrument. I want to talk to you a little bit more about it. I run the YouTube channels Uke Play-Alongs as well as the Uke Stuff channel. I have the blog at ukestuff.info, and I also have a blog at techandmusiced.com. And a few years ago, I started bringing ukulele to my middle school students. And now that I'm an elementary teacher, I bring it right now to my 5th grade students, although I know plenty of teachers that bring it to younger grades than that. And if you are looking at this instrument, you're probably wondering, why would I want to consider this instrument? So let me tell you a few things about it. First of all, the name brand is Enya, and you may not have heard of that company, but it's a very large company in China, and they have been coming with their products to the United States. The earliest I saw them was in 2016, and they blew everybody out of the water in terms of what they were offering, not only in quality but in price. So it's a very serious company that's very well known, just not in the United States. Now, about this instrument, let's talk about some details. First of all, it has a laminate mahogany body. If you ever see the words mahogany body and it doesn't say solid, that lets you know that it's a laminate body. Now, laminate is sheets of wood, plywood basically, with at least a veneer of the actual wood at the top. Now, this isn't a problem for music education because, quite honestly, almost nobody buys solid wood ukuleles for their program. It's always going to be a laminate or a plastic-based instrument. So if you are interested in a traditional ukulele and not a plastic one, this is a great one to consider. So it's laminate mahogany, which means that it's not going to be so susceptible to the conditions of your room. I teach in Minnesota, so much of the year we are drier than the Sahara Desert in terms of our classroom. There's no in-school humidity to control that. And as a result, that can wreak havoc on a solid wood instrument. You don't have to worry about that as much with this instrument. That's one of the benefits of laminate. It's also a little bit tougher if it gets dropped. However, just like any other instrument, if it gets dropped in the right place or at the wrong time, you can have damage that's impossible to repair. The second thing I want to talk to you about is the fretboard and the bridge. The fretboard and bridge are made out of something called Richlite, which is another synthetic-based wood instead of a rosewood fretboard. What this means is that it should also be less susceptible to conditions in your room. One of the things that happens with many ukuleles is you get something called fret sprout because a rosewood fretboard will shrink, leaving sharp fret ends that you have to deal with. Now, that's not a promise that you won't ever get them, but it should help with the problem. The bridge is also made of Richlite, but it's a pull-through bridge. And if you see that and think, oh goodness, what about that? It's not as hard as you think. What you do is you loosen the strings when you want to change them, you feed them through and you just pull them out. And when you want to put in the new strings, they're curled. You just stick them in the hole and aim them, and the strings actually might pop right out at you, or you'll be able to fish them out. It's not a big problem. You tie a knot in the end. These actually have a little bead on the end of them to help them, so you could get some beads or you try to use the same ones, whatever works for you. But a pull-through bridge actually is supposed to transfer more sound to the soundboard. So it's actually supposed to be a really good thing. You have new bone, nut up here, and a saddle, which is high-end. And the saddle is something that they call a compensated saddle, which gives the thicker strings a little more space to vibrate so the instrument plays better in tune. It has Enya closed-geared tuners. Most tuners will work on most ukuleles, especially geared ones, but these will do just fine for you. And I also like the strings. They're fluorocarbon strings. However, if you're teaching ukulele, you may want to consider Aquila's. They have a set of strings called kids. that you can put on your ukuleles that are colored that makes it way easier to teach. It takes away the grid. So for example, the blue string would be the first string. So you can say for the C chord, put your third finger, your ring finger, on the blue string 3rd fret. So much easier than saying first string 3rd fret. It just alleviates so many problems. Now, this instrument has low action, as all Enyas I've ever played, so it means that it's really easy to play the strings. And also, with that, not only is it easy to play, but it also keeps the instrument in tune. When an instrument is not set up, as most are not that are coming to schools, sometimes the action is so high at the nut that you're pulling so far down that you're pulling the strings out of tune. That's not going to happen with an Enya. More important than anything else is the sound. It's got a great sound. Very ringy, very chime-like. There are some overtones that are sounding with it. It's really a nice sound for a laminate instrument. Now, one of the great things about Enya instruments is that they come with a great kit. Now, before I talk about the kit, I also want to say that the Peripole Classic also comes in soprano or concert size. So if you are getting ukuleles for your classroom, you'll probably want soprano or concerts. I usually default with concerts, but then again, I have older students playing ukulele than younger elementary students. So let's take a look at this kit. First of all, you get one of the best bags that comes with an ukulele. And really, the super benefit of this bag, other than its padding, is this wonderful hook here that will help you store the bag. That's always been one of my questions, which is what do we do with the bags? Well, now the instrument can actually be stored in the bag while hanging on the wall. And then you get this great set of stuff. Let me show you all this stuff. You get a cleaning cloth. You get a capo that if you need to change keys, you can do so. You get a tuner. You get a strap. Actually, and again, there are strap buttons on each of the ukuleles. There is a finger shaker you can put on your finger and play it. There are an extra set of strings, the fluorocarbon strings that Enya uses. And then, this is the odd one out, you get a set of picks. Generally, just for information with ukulele, we don't use plastic picks. We will use leather or felt picks. But other than that, I mean, quite honestly, it is really the fullest kit on the market, and it adds incredibly to the value of this instrument. This is really an amazing ukulele at really a good price. Even its non-discounted price is really good comparing what you get and the quality of sound that you're getting with the instrument. However, if you're considering ukuleles for your school, here is what I would encourage you to do. I would encourage you to buy one, and if you're considering another brand, buy one of those and compare. I'm convinced that if you compare what you get with the Enya compared with another laminate from another company, and the way that you can get a bundle of stuff with each ukulele, and then Peripole offers a set of ukuleles for a classroom, I think your decision is going to be pretty easy indeed. So this again is the Peripole Classic Tenor Ukulele by Enya, available at peripole.com. If you are registered, there's one discount. If you're a music educator, there's a further discount. And if you buy a classroom set, there is even a more slightly discounted price per instrument. All right, thanks for watching. I hope you're having a great day. And please feel free to visit any of my resources anytime. I'd love to have you stop by.